painting series. If this is your first time with us, I hope you drag up your paints and a big easel and you come and paint with us. If you've been with us before, welcome back. I'm certainly
When the three-dimensional
glad
creature first reaches flat-landed, that shadow we recognize. It's, ordinarily drawn in third grade classrooms as two squares with their vertices connected. Now, if we look at the shadow of a three-dimensional object in 2 dimensions, it's two nested cubes, all the vertices connected by lines, and now the real tesseract.
see you again.
So
I tell you what, let's have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to do this painting with me. And they'll come across in exactly the same order as I have them on the palette, starting with a titanium white and working around. While they're doing that, let's go on up here and get started. Let me tell you what's happening already. I have an 18 by 24 inch canvas up here, and we've already covered it with a nice thin even coat of the liquid white. The liquid white makes the canvas wet, makes it slick. It allows us to actually blend color right here on the titanium white and working around. While they're doing that, let's go on up here and get started. Let me tell you what's happened already. I have an 18 by 24 inch canvas up here, and we've already covered it with a nice thin even coat of the liquid
first
white.
reaches flatland. It's only the points of contact which can be seen, and we'll represent that by stamping the apple in this ink pad. In this case, we would generate a 4-dimensional hypercube, which is also called a tesseract. I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in 3 dimensions.
Right. The liquid white makes the canvas wet, makes it slick. It allows us to actually blend color right here on the canvas instead of working ourselves to death on the palette. So, let's get started. We're going to do a happy little painting. Now today, tell you what, let's do a beautiful little winter scene. It has a lot of warm colors in it. I think you'll really like it. I'm going to take off today with a little bit of yellow ochre. A little yellow ochre, and into that, a touch of bright red. And all you need is just a small amount of the red. It's very, very strong. Very strong.
With their vertices connected. Now, if we look at the shadow of a 3-dimensional object in 2 dimensions, it's two nested cubes, all the vertices connected by lines, and now the real tesseract. So, when the 3-dimensional creature first reaches flatland, it's only the points of contact which can be seen, and we'll represent that by stamping the apple in this ink pad. In this case, we would generate a 4-dimensional hypercube, which is also called a tesseract. I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in 3 dimensions.
Okay, let me clean my knife.
Nothing is more beautiful.
I'm going to go right into this and just tap it. Very gently tap it. Just get a little color on here.
Get everything you think you know about monster
Let
trucks
me tell you what's
and tell
happened
me
already.
what possesses a man to drive one. Does he do it to entertain inebriated people at the monster jams? Does he do it so the obese women in the front row flash their drooping tits at him with their helipad areolas? Maybe he does it to send a message that no matter how hard you work in life, no matter what you accomplish, it can all be taken away in an instant by a monster truck.
It has a lot of warm colors in it. I think you'll really like it. I'm going to take off today with a little bit of yellow ochre.
Recognize.
Little yellow ochre. Into that, a touch of bright red. All you need is just a small amount of the red.
With their vertices connected. Now, if we look
strong.
at the shadow of a 3-dimensional object in 2 dimensions, it's two nested cubes, all the vertices connected. And now the real tesseract. So, when the 3-dimensional creature first reaches flatland, it's only the points of contact which can be seen. A little bit of yellow, 2 dimensions. It's two nested cubes, all the vertices connected by lines, and now the real tesseract. So, when the 3-dimensional creature first reaches flatland, it's only the points of contact which can be seen.
a touch
We'll
of bright
represent that
red.
by stamping the apple in this ink pad. In this case, we would generate a 4-dimensional hypercube, which is also called a tesseract. I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in 3 dimensions.
Into that, bright red. All you need is just a small amount of the
In this case, we would generate a four-dimensional hypercube.
Thank you, really
which
like
is also
it.
called a tesseract.
With a little bit of
I cannot show you a tesseract because
into
I
that,
and you are trapped in 3 dimensions.
a touch of bright red. All you need is just a small amount of the red. Very, very strong. Very strong. I'm going to take that today, a little bit of yellow into that, a touch of bright red. Space butterflies, watching the world beneath the sky. Very strong. Into that, a touch of bright red. Space butterflies, watching the world beneath the sky. Everything perfect, straight kaleidoscope, built by mind, built by mind, built by the world is beneath the sky. Everything perfect, straight kaleidoscope, built by mind, built by mind, built by the mind of the one. My name is so trouble, we find it already. Space butterflies, like so. Just sort of blend it out to about like that. There you go. Maybe just the smallest amount of red. I want it to be a little bit brighter out here on the edges. Now start from the outflows and bring it right on around. So we have sort of a vignette.
$1 billion negative economic.
So when the 3-dimensional creature first reaches flatland, it's only the points of...
So we have sort of a vignette.
$1 billion negative economic.
Now, while we have that color in the brush,
which can be seen,
I'm going to have some
by
snow down here. And in
the apple in this ink pad.
Snow, we want some shadow, so while we have this blue and black,
four-dimensional
I'm just going to come
You
right
may have
across
seen
here.
it in a mall, at a stadium, or in a parking lot.
I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in 3 dimensions.
You may have heard some great stories, or seen some fun robot selfies. That's because Nightscope's autonomous security robots are already making a difference across California and are starting to expand
Industrial,
nationwide.
military, and home use technologies are just a few of the many applications that Skynet Research is undertaking in our search for the next big
At a
thing.
stadium, you may have seen it in a mall, at a stadium, or in a
Skynet
parking lot.
Research has got its eyes on the future.
Like so.
Here at Skynet Research, we're working non-stop to create the next level of robotics.
Just little crisscross strokes. Like so. There you go.
Skynet Research, a global leader in artificial intelligence technologies.
Say hello to the soldier of tomorrow, the T1 battlefield robot.
Very warm sometimes winter scenes, well, they can become so cold and uncomfortable looking, so we'll put a little warmth in this one. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to wash the brush. Now we wash our brushes with odorless paint thinner, and I really recommend you use odorless thinner or you're going to be working by yourself. Shake the brush off, then that's the fun part of this technique. All right.